Welcome back guys, hope you're all well. So today, as you know, we are working on the rear quarter of the car. We have got majority of the panels cut out. So what we can do today is take that leg out. Once you've got the leg out, we're going to take off the fuel pipes as well from the rear quarter. That will give us easy access to the arch. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build some kind of bracket just next to the arch, so kind of we can keep the alignment the same. Once we've got the arch out, we can start working on the door and quarter panel. So what we want to do here is strip it all down, get the glass out, get the seam sealer kind of exposed so we know where all the spot welds are. As you guys know, before we start cutting into the panel, we need to take a bunch of measurements. That way we know exactly where the panels go, how far apart they're meant to be. That will give us the best alignment as well. And obviously we're taking OEM measurements, so once we get the panels on, we'll know we're pretty much close to OEM. So yeah guys, without any delay, let's get on with it. It's easy to start working on the rear quarter.
So before we start getting the inner wheel arch off, we need to get that suspension out and the fuel feeds as well. The bent, well, these are going to be replaced anyway. They need to come out, so we've got access to get our spot welds right here. So that needs to come out, and also the suspension needs to come out because it's damaged, number one, and number two, we need access to the spot welds right here. The seam sealer run it, but basically the arch starts from here and runs all the way along, all the way up to around here. So before we can actually get that arch off, we need to get the suspension out and the fuel feeds out. So we'll get working on it now. So our suspension and fuel feeds have all been removed. You can see right here, I put blocks on the air feed that goes back to the tank. That's been all blocked up to stop any dirt or anything getting in there. And same with the fuel pipes at the back, I've blocked them up to stop any sparks or any dirt getting in there, because you don't want to cause a fire whilst you're welding. So that's all out the way. Also another thing, I've put all the bolts, nuts and bolts back in place, and I roughly aligned them. For some of you guys who are thinking that, oh, why did I align it? It's been damaged and need tracking. It's just that I didn't want it to be way out of line. So when we get the suspension back on, it won't be like too out of line. It will get tracked later on when the car's actually ready. So we got the caliper put away. I didn't want to actually disconnect it. That way obviously then you have to start bleeding and doing all sorts. It's not in the way really, it's just that we gotta take this lock pin out and we can drop the pipe slightly down because there's a spot right here. You won't be able to see, but I know there's a spot right there. I could actually feel it. So that's all done. Also, I didn't mention that I had to take the park brake cable out. These are actually shoes, brake shoes for the park brake, and the cable was running down the bottom on the other side. So that was all removed. Then we basically removed everything. So yeah, that's all put aside. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start working on that inner wheel arch. Everything's all clear. Also, another thing I wanted to mention was for some people would actually repair this, but as we're doing a proper job, we want to actually put the OEM panel on. It is repairable, but we wouldn't actually do that. To do a proper job, you would actually need to replace it. that's what we're going to be doing. So we start removing the side of the boot floor. You can see right here is one box section that starts from around here and ends right here where it overlaps onto the next panel. So once all the seam seal is off, we'll be able to see our spots like so. You can see right here, there's a few spots on the chassis rail and a few around the back of the arch. So once that's all drilled off, we can start chiseling away and start getting our side boot floor out. So before you start actually stripping the inner wheel arch, we need to remove the back panel. This panel right here, there's like a black bracket at the back which bolts off. We need to get that off as well. So yeah, also all the seam sealing needs to come off around here. So you can see all our spots nice and clearly. And there's basically a bracket that sits, a plate that sits right here where you can see where it joins onto. The inner arch actually finishes around this part right here, just under here. So we might be drilling the spots from inside or outside, but we're not going to be doing any drilling yet until we know what we're working with. We need to first get that back plate off and the bracket, so we get cracking on that now. So we removed a top part of the panel, that's the side now, so this is separated. We really want to keep that shock where it is. There's a big plate, there's a thick plate that runs along this side down to the shock. It's one complete piece. So realistically what we want to do is keep that there where it is. We don't really mess around with that too much. So we just want to get the panels off around it, which are on top of each other, like this piece is with this piece right here. So what I'm trying to do is get this piece off. So what we'll do first is we got to remove this panel right here. There's a few spots and a few seam welds around it which we'll have to grind, because I've had a look, there's like a spot weld right here, so that has to come off first to get this piece off. So we'll start drilling into that and grinding it down and getting that off separate. So we're taking our top panel off now. You can see right here, as I was explaining before, I want to get this piece right off with this panel right here. So they both come off together. So we're going to put this to the side. Now you can see right here, everything is all in front. All the spots are right there. It's easy to get to, so we'll drill all them off. And on the inside, all the seam sealer needs to come off. Once we clean all this seam seal off right here, we'll drop that brake line slightly down, take that lock out, drop it down slightly. Once that's all cleaned off, we'll be able to see our spots. You can see right here. We'll drill all them out, then that section should come out as one piece. So we drilled out most of the spots for the inner arch. We're going to stop right there. What we're going to do is we're going to put a bar from this point to that point right there. That will stop the structure from moving in and out, because obviously it's on the arch. Once that's removed, it'll be going all over the place. So to secure it, we'll put this bar right here, we'll measure it, cut it down to size, drill 2 holes in it and bolt it down. It's not going to be 100%. We're going to obviously measure our donor panel and make sure it is right once you start fitting everything, because at this point I don't think it's going to be 100%, because this part right here is being removed and there's nothing there. So it will be all measured to size before we start putting our actual donor panel on. So you can see right here, we built our support bars and we put them in. You got one running along the top, so stop it from moving side to side, and also at the bottom as well, stop it from coming down or going up. So that's all nice and secure. So we're going to carry on drilling out all the spots. So everything's been removed. Before we start actually working on the donor panel, what we want to do is give this inside a good clean. There's loads of metal shaving and sealant all over the place. We'll clean that all up. You see right here, there's a puddle on the floor. So when the vehicle was damaged, actually the doors opened a bit, so that's caused all this water. So you can see right here, there's water literally all over the floor. So we need to get that all cleaned up. That's where you got all that water coming from, and it's starting to leave rust behind, where it's mixed in with the metal shaving and the water. So we're going to be using George to suck out all the water. Then we got George's granddad right here that will help us to clean all the metal shaving. So we get working on it now. So we've got a special tool in the workshop. It's a chassis alignment tool. It's a gauge right here. It's called a tremor gauge. Really good tool to take measurements from point to point, and you can get it from lengthwise and height-wise as well. So you know exactly how up or down your panel needs to be. All you need to do is just adjust it from this point right here, and you can stop it and just tighten it there. So you know exactly how low this panel needs to be, how high that panel needs to be. Lengthwise as well, so it's a really good tool. So this is what we're going to be using to actually take our measurements. So what we're going to do is you can take measurements from different points. Then what we'll do is we'll make like a little diagram, and we'll mark it up, and we'll write what were the measurements, and we'll put it all down right here, so you know exactly what we need to do when we're fitting the panels on. So we'll start off by taking a few measurements. So this quarter needs to actually come off to get measurements on the inside as well. So we'll do our measurements from the outside. Once that's done, we'll get this off, then we'll carry on doing some more. So we'll carry on with that now.
So we're going to end the video there. We've done a fair amount of work. So with all that's going on right now, it has been a little tough kind of getting on with the work, because you can't really go out anywhere to get parts, and it's been kind of tough to actually order parts as well. So we're going to end the video there. Thanks a lot for watching. Guys, before we actually go, make sure you follow us on Instagram, because we want to get your opinion on Instagram. What's better, the black rims or the grey rims? I'm going to put up a post on Instagram, and all I want you guys to do is vote on what you prefer, because that way we're going to kind of go with whatever's the deciding vote. So yeah, we're going to end it there. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next GTR video.